I kid you not. Honda wants to catch up to Tesla. They plan on doing this by maybe making rockets and also by copying Tesla's electric vehicle manufacturing strategy, which you've probably heard of as vertical integration. However, Honda is praying, it's wishing upon a prayer, that actually someone will come along and save it. That someone is called e-fuels. Honda have finally seen the light. Well, they say they have. They say that yes, even though the CEO of Honda is obsessed with internal combustion engine vehicles, the engine is his baby, even he realizes that Honda was wrong. Honda got it all wrong. And yes, electrification is the future of the automotive industry. Well, sort of, kind of, maybe, just a little bit. But all that said, Honda are now claiming that they will invest $40 billion, in fact, more than $40 billion between now and 2030 in order to catch up to everyone else. But the question here is, are they too far behind? If they're starting the race now, when everyone else, or at least their main competition, started this race several years ago, is it too late? Well, let's have a look at Honda's plans and see whether or not they have any chance of staying alive in 2030 and beyond. I think you'll be quite surprised at these numbers and what they're planning on doing. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Sam Evans and I'm coming to you from Bangkok in Thailand. I'm normally based in Australia, but right now my wife is doing cancer treatment here in Bangkok. Thank you so much to those of you who have supported her on her GoFundMe campaign. I'll put a link in the description below. Honda, they're investing $40 billion into saving their own butts from bankruptcy. That's basically what they're doing. But, and there's a big but, today, right now, they make only one electric car, the Honda E. Pretty cool, funky looking little thing, but they're very expensive. Honda make very few of them and sell them only in a very limited number of countries. Basically, Honda doesn't have any EVs at all that they can actually sell because the Honda E is just simply way too expensive for them to mass produce. Now, Honda's second plan, second strategy, or their bet, their gamble to get into electrification in their two biggest markets in the world that Honda relies upon for their existence, which are the United States and China, is first. In the US, Honda had hoped it could use General Motors and General Motors' Ultium platform, basically reskin a General Motors car and put Honda badges on it and simply make a profit that way. They've since realized that isn't going to work. That's not going to save them. So now they've changed their strategy in the United States. In China, Honda's strategy was simply to use other partners there to build cars for them as well. The same exact thing they planned on doing in the US. They've since realized that isn't going to work all that well in China either. So Honda is saying they're going to go it alone. They will now accelerate development of their electric vehicle lineup by investing more than $40 billion through now in 2030. They want to get hybrids and fully electric vehicles to represent 40% of all car sales by the end of the decade. Meaning, EVs will represent around 20% of Honda's vehicle sales by 2030. Honda firmly believes that, well, 80% of their car buyers will be happy to just go along with buying a gasoline-powered car in 2030. Do you think that's true? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Now, I should point out this one fact. Honda believes the reason that I'm talking to you watching this channel, the world, everyone on this planet, will be more than happy to go along with just buying a gasoline-powered car in 2030. They believe this is because they will use synthetic fuels. Synthetic fuels will save Honda's butts from bankruptcy. Now, this might work if you're Porsche, maybe. Why do I say that? Well, synthetic fuels cost 6 times more. Best case scenario, by the way, 6 times more for synthetic fuels. Many cities and countries won't even allow you to have a gasoline-powered car using synthetic fuels because actually they burn just as much and create just as much pollution as normal fuels. But anyhow, that's another story. But the point is here, do you think the average Honda buyer would be willing to pay 6 times more for gasoline or diesel? Do you think they would be willing to do that? Would you be willing to do that? Now, for the Aussies out there, that might mean you'd be paying around $15 a litre for gasoline or petrol. Now, would you choose to do that or simply buy an electric car from a competitor to Honda? I think the answer is pretty clear, especially by 2030, when the average vehicle will easily be able to do 600 plus miles of range. Seriously. That's what I predict. And the reason for that is many-fold. There are so many improvements going into electric cars. You might not see them or hear about them because you don't watch all the videos on this channel. But there are so many different improvements being made to EVs that will massively improve the range by 2030. To this effect, Honda will establish a standalone business unit in a few weeks that will oversee the development of the company's new EV models, battery production, and a possible standalone charging network, according to Reuters. Basically, Honda is doing what Ford has done, separating its business into 2 entirely separate divisions so that one of them, the internal combustion engine unit, if that one goes bankrupt, they'll still have their EV division. Of course, all the creditors to the internal combustion unit will be up Pooh Creek without their money. But the point is here, Honda may still be able to continue existing under that framework. Until 2030, or at least in the year 2030, Honda say that they will continue making internal combustion engine vehicles, even claiming that gasoline-powered cars would still be popular in 2040 and beyond. Here's what the CEO said. I've been in the engine development business for more than 30 years. So personally, this is a little threatening, but I have to separate my own feelings from what is best for the business. Now, is that the CEO that you think will lead Honda into success? Bit of sunk cost bias there maybe. The carmaker's chief executive added that Honda is currently running feasibility studies on a slew of topics. Feasibility studies. From EV chargers to aerial vehicles and even rockets. What a great investment of money that would be for Honda to go and build rockets. As well as low carbon e-fuels that could keep current combustion engine vehicles running for at least a decade, maybe 2 decades, especially in performance cars, big trucks, and airplanes, because we all know Honda sells lots of those 3 things, don't we? With this being said, Inside EV says that the CEO of Honda emphasized that Honda is now focused on 2 main components as it shifts towards carbon neutrality, electrification, and hydrogen fuel cells. Now, obviously, compared to its biggest competitors, Honda is way late to the game. Basically, they're starting this race, right? They've just rocked up to the start of a race, and all the other competitors have already taken off. Some of them a bit later than others. Toyota just maybe not even yet even. I don't know. But many of them took off years ago. Honda says it will run feasibility studies next month on whether or not they want to make rockets. Seriously. Now, it is true that Honda has sort of worked together with General Motors to produce its 2 new electric cars that will be built in the US in 2024. In small numbers, of course. These are called the Prologue and the Acura ZDX, both of which will debut apparently before the end of next year. But Honda have since realized that actually getting General Motors to build a car for you and then rebadging it as a Honda probably isn't a very profitable way to future success. It adds too many middlemen, and GM's Ultium platform isn't as Ultium as what GM claim. So Honda plan now on developing their own EV architecture, which the CEO confirmed will be a part of a 2026 bound vehicle in North America, as opposed to the upcoming Ultium-based midsize crossovers. But considering the fact that Honda don't even have a platform yet, 2026 could be a little sooner than is realistic. However, future Honda EVs, they say, will make use of internally developed battery packs, some of which will be built at the firm's $3.5 billion joint venture with LG in Jefferson, Ohio, starting in 2025. Last year, Honda sales went down by more than 30% in the United States. They're following similar trends around the world this year. Honda, my friends, is screwed. And I don't believe anything, including this announcement, will save them. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.